The night that turned my world upside down didn't arrive with alarms or dramatic signs. It crept in softly, like a murmur you barely notice until it's impossible to ignore. If anyone had told me a single evening could reshape how I saw my family, my choices, even myself, I would have laughed it off. Yet here I am, still haunted and drawn to the events that unfolded that night with my stepmother and her friends. The air outside had that crisp bite of late summer, sharp enough to raise goosebumps as I lounged in the backyard chair. I wasn't supposed to drink, but there I was, a stolen glass of red wine warming my hands, trying to dull the restless uncertainty about what came next in my life. I'm Jason Miller, 22, freshly graduated, home temporarily while I figured out my next move. With my dad away on business, the house felt unusually still. Normally Rachel, my stepmother, would be orchestrating one of her signature gatherings, parties full of music, laughter, and friends who always seemed too glamorous for our suburban streets. But tonight there was nothing but quiet, broken only by the gentle hiss of the hot tub jets. I reclined, watching curling steam rise into the night like whispered secrets. My mind drifted, somewhere between unease and calm, when the sliding door clicked open. I sat up, expecting maybe a cat or a breeze. Instead, Rachel stepped out, flanked by her closest friends, Amber and Chloe, laughter trailing behind them. They carried cocktails, flushed faces glowing with wine and happiness. Rachel's eyes found me first, a teasing smile tugging at her lips. "Jason," she called, voice warm yet playful. "What are you doing out here alone?" Heat rose to my cheeks. "Just taking a breather," I muttered, raising my glass like proof. Amber tilted her head, her dark hair falling over one shoulder, a grin both inviting and sly. "Come join us," she said. "The hot tub's perfect tonight." Before I could answer, Rachel lifted the wine from my hand, her fingers brushing mine ever so lightly. The touch sparked something electric. "Don't be shy," she murmured, locking eyes with me. I froze, torn between caution and curiosity. Part of me wanted to retreat inside. But their laughter drew me in like an unstoppable tide. Amber and Chloe shed their light robes, revealing bikinis beneath, and slid into the bubbling water, laughter blending with the hot tub's hiss. Rachel lingered, hand brushing my arm a second too long before stepping in, glancing back for me. I exhaled and joined them. The warm water enveloped me, yet the tension in my chest only tightened. I ended up between Rachel and Amber, shoulders brushing in the tight space. Chloe raised her glass, teasing softly. "Relax, Jason. We're just having fun." But fun felt like the wrong word. The night carried a strange charge, heavy with unspoken possibilities. Rachel leaned close, handing me another drink, eyes unwavering. I couldn't tell if it was the wine, the water, or her presence that made my heart race. The conversation flowed, Rachel venting about work politics, Amber recounting travel stories, Chloe delivering sharp quips that kept everyone laughing. I tried to fade into the background, yet every brush of Rachel's shoulder, every lingering glance drew me deeper into a storm I wasn't ready for. Then Rachel's hand rested on my knee under the water. My heart jumped. Casual, maybe innocent to an outsider, but impossible to overlook. I caught Amber's knowing smirk, Chloe's quiet, curious gaze, watching my inner struggle. Rachel leaned in, breath warm against my ear. "You're doing fine, Jason. Just let go." The words were both command and comfort. I wanted to pull away but couldn't. I simply nodded, heart pounding. Laughter faded into quieter moments as the night wore on. When Amber and Chloe finally left, wrapped in towels and giggling softly, I remained in the steaming water with Rachel alone. She lingered, eyes soft but waiting, unspoken tension hanging between us. "Jason," she whispered, voice barely trembling. Then she leaned back, leaving me drowning in silence and questions as she followed her friends inside. The next morning, the house was quiet again. Rachel had left a note about brunch with the girls. Relief and disappointment mixed inside me. When she returned, her smile casual but eyes betraying a hint of tension, she spoke carefully. "About last night. I hope you're not uncomfortable." It wasn't planned, it just happened. I swallowed, throat tight. I'm not uncomfortable, I said, though the words felt insufficient. Just surprised. She smiled, nodding. We're adults here. What happens stays between us. But if you want to act like it didn't, we can. Did I want that? That question haunted me. Every glance, breakfast, every moment around her felt weighted with unspoken meaning. One evening, Rachel knocked on my door, robe brushing the floor, hesitant. I've been thinking about that night, she said softly. Would you like to talk? Just us. Against my better judgment, I said yes. And that began something unexpected. Late-night talks became confessions, fears shared, laughter that was new and unguarded. It wasn't just attraction, it was connection. We discovered each other in ways I never imagined. Yet the unspoken question lingered. What if anyone knew? The world would never understand. But then one autumn evening, Rachel whispered, I think I'm falling for you. Fear melted into something else because I had already fallen. That night in the hot tub had started as a blur of laughter and temptation, but it unlocked something far more complex. Love, trust, and desires that defied every rule I thought I knew.